Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Super Danny Powered Up. In the last part, Iceman and Electman were defeated, so now it's time to move on to the Wily Fortress. And in this case, it's based off of the Wily Fortress from Mega Man 3, as shown here, though we have a more classic layout. Instead of going from the right side, we're going from the left side. The initial few screens are based directly off of Wily Stage 1 for Mega Man 3. Though as we'll see quite shortly, it's quite a bit different. Like for example, starting from here, it's starting to get a bit more different. And kind of a bit more challenging in some ways. But we'll get to that in the later ones, especially with how finicky some of the jumps. There's all these protons, these cannon joes, and whatnot. I suggest using Electman or Quickman to quickly go through them, but be careful of getting hit by these cannons. This section caused a lot of issues when I was doing test recordings, with some weird bugs and whatnot. Now let's take on this hammer joe. Pretty simple. Here's the next segment. Pretty simple. Just quickly take care of these protons and you should be fine. Here, if you use Quickman, you can easily take him out by just using the arcing of the boomerangs. You can either take the bottom pad as before, or the upper pad. I prefer to take the bottom pad as it has some nice goodies. But of course, you must have 2 crash bomb shots in order to use it. And yeah, these shockmans are so annoying. That's why I just tried to nick it with just one of those shots. They're even more of an annoyance in hard mode. And for our troubles, we get an extra D-tank. And now it's time for another annoyance. It's time for another mole room. Though, unlike in Mega Man 3, at least we now have Electman who can shoot in all 3 directions, and can one-hit them in all in one shot. I really wish the item drop rate was better, as it's quite annoying in terms of refilling Master Weapon energies. Now, to get through this section, you must quickly slide over everything. Or, of course, you could just do the more cautious route. Make sure to react quickly in this section, otherwise you'll skewer yourself into spikes. And with that, we've reached our first boss. Now, unlike the Mega Man 3, we have very different boss fights now. In this case, we basically have a Boba Fett head, referencing to Star Wars. The only way you can damage him is by destroying those mini-heads that the major head throws. They'll always bounce around the room diagonally, and it take about 8 or so shots to destroy, but for every one you destroy, they'll get faster and faster the next ones. So be cautious. I decided to conserve all of Master Weapons, but after a while, I decided just to go with their weakness. And the weakness is Metal Man's Metal Blades. Especially if they get so fast, 8 directional shots are so useful in this regard. In mediocre runs, sometimes I'm able to get perfect runs that get no damage, sometimes I get almost killed. In this case, fair enough. But oh, the next stage caused so many problems in re-records. You'll be seeing that in a moment. Here's a direct reference to the final stage of Mega Man 3, the few screens before you fight Gamma. Here we have some more of these mystery tanks. Fairly useful. Here's Gamma from before. I think that upper platform leads to a secret area, but I don't have this certain secret Robot Master defeated, so I can't reach it. Yeah, I missed the secret Robot Master fight earlier, so... And in the background are multiple Robot Master, Fortress bosses from before. We already had the Guts Dozer and 2 other ones, which I can't recall their names specifically. For this section, you're forced to use Quickman. Be quick on your feet, otherwise you'll fall to your death. That's for Mega Man 4. Here we are. And here's a reference to Mega Man 6. I believe that ladder on the left either returns or leads to the secret area. But, as I said, I can't reach it. Now, time for something completely different. Before we had Mega Man 3 levels, but now we're in a completely custom level, filled with all of the default construction blocks from Game Maker, it appears. And the music is Clown Man's theme from Mega Man 8. The NES fan remake of it, at least. Or demake, to be precise. And one of the sections coming up really cost me a lot of re-records. I dislike this stage so much. Down here is the force beams. Oh, so many problems with this. It's a combination of the issues of having 30 FPS gameplay and lower reaction time, plus the fact is if you have Elect Man or Quick Man, you can actually slide through the gaps and fall into one of those pits, or ignore those pits completely and just slide into one of the other compartments and get killed by the force beam. That resulted to me several dozen times, so annoying. And this previous segment, oh, you have to be very cautious while making these jumps so you don't screw yourself on the top. All these spikes are instant death, by the way. I really don't like this type of game design where it's all instant death at normal mode. Maybe on hard mode, but still, I would have preferred if they just damaged you. But yeah, my force beam section cost me so many re-records. But with that, it's down. Now it's time to face against the boss. And as all those icons show, our boss is a clown head. Now the way this clown head works is basically that he travels around this room in a circle-ish pattern. His weakness is Quick Man, and every time you hit him, he'll release 2 mini heads at you. The more times you hit the main clown head, he'll become faster and more aggressive. And of course, the heads will also change color as well, and they'll become more aggressive. And you have to be really careful when using robot masters like Quick Man, as you can really get killed in one hit, or very few hits. That's why I decided to just use my D-Tank. But yeah, make sure to destroy the mini heads before you go after the big head, otherwise you'll surely get swarmed. And yeah, that last speech was from Clown Man for Mega Man 8 on his death speech. But with that, it's time to move on to some more, well, usual Mega Man fare. It felt kind of like a diversion into a separate fan game with Mega Man enemies in a way. The music here is from Mega Man 7, or the Mega Man 7 fan demake NES version of Wily's Stage Tree. On the left is an extra life. You can take it by doing the upper route, which I did off screen, but it wasn't really necessary. And here, like in the original stage, there's invisible floors that you can fall through. Not really invisible floors, but some of the floors you'll fall through if you go over certain areas. So be cautious. Though, like Mega Man 2, you can use Bubble Man's bubble legs, so it'll trace the paths. Oh, this falling segment. It cost me about 1 life, and the falling section after that 3 lives, due to how the collision detection was a bit wonky. So a bit of a transition here to the successful run. I lost 1 life there, and I lost another life here, mainly because my jumping failed to work. There's a hole. Make sure there's another hole right before the ladder, so be cautious. 2 holes over here as well, so... Interesting enough, you can actually skip going and blowing up these blocks by using Crashman's weapon by just using Quick Man to jump over those holes. Like shown here, you could have done that and avoided using Crashman's weapon energy. But still, I do like the variety of Roadmaster weapons, though I really wish I had some of the secret Roadmaster's weapons, as well as some of the Roadmasters being replaced with other ones. The sequel has a better variety in all these types of weapons. A much better variety, as well as better level design personally, but we'll get to that when I get to that. You have to slide down a section as quickly as possible, avoiding these tallies. Like man's awesome here. Similar here, you have to climb down these ladders and reach the segment while avoiding more of these tallies. This is more of an annoyance in hard mode, of course. Jump cut here. Here's one of my main frustrations or complaints about this stage. Down there, if you fall there, I got hit here on purpose. Boom. If you didn't know this was here, and you didn't get hit by one of those tellies, you would have been killed instantly. And this happened to me twice in this recording, mainly because one time it glitched and I couldn't actually get back up. Well, glitched in the sense that I got hit and I couldn't jump up in time. The other one was due to my mistake and forgetfulness. But still, that shouldn't be there. There should be more time in order to see that. And of course, it's much harder to do that in time if you don't have a Legman or Quickman equipped. More of these right armors. I really want to conserve the Crashman energy, like I said. Mainly for things like these. There's a room full of a lot of octopus batteries. But of course, like in the one in Cutman stage, it's pretty much a cinch getting through. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that weapon tank due to these. But oh well, more of these octopus batteries. I decided to take a chance and actually blow up that wall using the crash bombs. Mainly I wanted to recharge some of our weapon energies, but of course for other reasons as well. But of course, I did it after I cleared up all these enemies, mainly to make sure everything was okay. Empire rewards, I got a large life energy and another life energy, which was useful, but I would have preferred a large weapon tank. And as I have repeatedly saying through this playthrough, not having the 60 FPS frame rate is really causing issues with precision of these enemies, as I can't accurately jump and kill these anymore inaccurately. There's a final array of 2's Heimerjos, and we're at the boss. No more hidden floors, some spike drops, or other things to contend to. Jump cut here because of an issue I had in the boss fight, which was kind of more of my fault. But yeah, but now time for another reference. Our boss for this stage is El Paizo, who is from Mega Man 02 for the GBA. El Paizo has about 3 sets of attacks, one in which he fires an array of these hearts at you. If you get hit by one of those hearts, well, you'll take damage, but if you shoot one of the hearts, what will happen is that El Paizo will regain some of his life energy back. And then after that he'll fire arrays of heart bolts from above. so just run around and try dodging them. Other than that, he's not too much of a problem. I didn't really wasn't able to show off his third attack, but as long as you're careful, you can easily take him out with a left man, or even with your normal weapons. In fact, the only reason why El Paizo was included in this game was because the creator of this game, as well as the real Super Danny himself, doesn't really like El Paizo. And yet, this is the last stage for the Wily Fortress. And yeah, another sudden drop. Less annoying than the spike drop, but still. And now it seems we're going through some of the stages in reverse from Mega Man 3, if I recall correctly. But yeah, this is basically the last gauntlets for this castle, with all these Cannon Joes, Sniper Joes, more regular enemies and whatnot. It's interesting though, we started this castle with relatively Mega Man 3 level design, and now we've gotten to the point where it's mostly custom. I mean, the second level was really off the wall, and so was pretty out of whack in a way. But now, and third was a mix of the two, and this one is completely unique. At the end of every Wily Castle is, of course, a Wily Capsule room, but there'll be something a little bit more special compared to normal ones. And here we go, time to enter the Wily Capsule room. The fall of similar drop from familiar, and oh, what's that? All 6 of the weapon capsules, or teleporter capsule have been smashed. What's this then? And in fact, the actual boss is the Mega Man clones from Mega Man 3. Although in this case, it's actually Danny Daines. Danny Daines being the evil doppelganger of Super Danny. It acts basically the same way as the Mega Man 3 Mega Man clone fight. One of them of the 3 is real, and the only way you can figure out is by shooting each one of them. They'll try targeting your current position, so try guiding them away. Their weakness is the Ice Slasher from the Iceman, so if you can time it correctly, you can figure out them very easily. And you can take them out pretty quickly. But that, Wily Fortress number 1 is down. The game's not done yet, there's one more Wily Fortress to go. Tune in next time when I take on the final stages of this game. Thanks for watching and have a nice day! Doodles!